Hey everyone, I'm HeroX Golden, and I'm happy to have you all back and to show you guys another world record low round Easter egg that can never be beat, especially after that ridiculous Shadows of Evil Easter egg last week. Don't take this the wrong way, but as happy as I am to have you guys back in here again, I'm happier about the fact that this one didn't take anywhere near the amount of resets that Shadows game took. Surprisingly, this time we aren't on BO3, BO4, or Cold War. Whoops, I mean BO3 or BO4. Instead, we're on Black Ops 7 Astra Malorum. Now before I get to explaining, I first want you guys to take everything you know about this map, and using that, consider what round you guys think it could be done on. Then comment those answers down below so that we can see later if anyone was close to guessing it right. A friend of mine, Pizza Yum Yum, brought up an idea for doing this low round, and obviously I had no hesitation at joining him and trying it out. He's the one who managed to get the unbeatable low round world record on Shadows of Evil. Along with this is another NTC friend of ours, Chubbs. Now, onto the game. Soon as we start, I plan to drop my gun so that one of the others can pick it up. After grabbing 2 guns off the wall, I spin the gobblegum machine to get a round off. And before anyone jumps on me for using a bunch of round offs, technically there were only 3 round offs used in this whole game, and one of those was actually accidental. After popping round off, we just flipped the round. As soon as the round flipped, I switch my gobblegum pack and then leave the game. This lets me load back into the game with a different gun, but the more important reason I'll show you here in a second. Since it's round 1, when I load back in, it automatically allows me to spawn instead of waiting for the round to flip. You'll notice though, my round off hasn't been consumed. Treyarch, if you're watching this, consider this me getting payback for you guys secretly making those changes to the zombies on Terminus that prevented us from doing the Easter egg round 1 anymore. I mean, that truly felt like a personal shot at us low round players. But back to the run. Once I get my SG-12 back from Pizza, I focus on getting Pack-a-Punch unlocked. Also, check there to see the planet and what direction it is for a step later on. Grab the harmonic component, the other one had already been picked up by Pizza. I placed them here in the organ and then activate it to start a small defend that requires me to protect it. At this point, this is where the first challenge arises. There's a code that you have to get from Oscar, except he will only say that code starting at round 10. And I do mean actual round 10, which means we couldn't just use round off a couple of times until we passed through 10 rounds. But round 10 wouldn't really be such a low round Easter egg, right? So there's another option. There are a total of 336 codes that it could be. Don't worry. We wouldn't really go through all this 336 times, right? Right? Of course not, because you can put in 2 codes per round. We would only have to do it 118. So we start putting in codes. And with Chubbs using the round off trick by leaving after triggering the first round off and then rejoining, it only ever costs that single round off. These are all the possible codes that it could be. In between trying codes every reset, I shot the car hood at spawn to get the car battery, while Pizza went around and found the wiring. Also went ahead and shot the vents and then moved the scope so that it was close to the sun. I didn't actually aim it at the sun yet, not until Pizza got Oscar over here near it. Once we did have Oscar over here, that's when I target directly at the sun so that it activated the beam. After a moment of keeping Oscar here in the middle, it kills him off. I also spin and pick up a dead drop since salvage was really lacking for some odd reason. I mean, it's round 1. At 500 salvage, I put cryo freeze on my gun, using it to shoot 3 of the purple crystals around the map to pick up the fragments we needed. Still making sure that I was inputting the codes to try getting the correct one. Also checked around for the other 2 planets and the directions, since up till now I had only gotten the 1. More and more code attempts. When the next Oscar spawns in, I get it over to the Luminarium and then activate the trap. Just run around for a moment and let the trap kill it. Then back to some more thrilling code attempts. Careful, this kind of excitement can be really stressful. There was only one other thing we could do before being locked by the code step. Those fragments I picked up earlier activate the trap here in the museum. Once we had another Oscar, we just laid it over near it and then activated it. This was the final time we needed to kill him for him to drop the wonder weapon. From here, all we could do is to keep attempting codes over and over. By this point, I was nearly breathless, palm sweaty, just trying to survive all this chaos, you know? No, but really, this was just code attempt after code attempt after code attempt. Now you guys do me a favor. I'd like you all to pause once more and comment how many attempts you think it took before we finally managed to get the right code, or what you think the code ends up being. We were just going down the list in order so that it was easier to track. At one point, Pizza's over near the pack and makes the comment, "I got that Midas touch, let me input next." So we all know how this fail is gonna be a laugh, except the really messed up thing, this man puts in the code and what happens? First dang attempt and it's right. So, while yelling a bit, mixed with a lot of laughing, I jump up and grab the key. Also move the scope so that it's hovering over Mars this time, so that we could get the coordinates for the code. The saw had been picked up already, so I just take a moment and casually saw off some dude's head and take his brain because, meh, it's Wednesday. Good day for brain picking, I guess. I have to take the long way around since apparently Oscar and Pizza have a thing going on, so we can't interrupt their romantic date. I carry the brain over and place it in the luminarium and activate it. This starts another little defend step and spawns in a bunch of zombies to attack it. I can kill them freely though, since these aren't normal round zombies, which Chubbs has over at spawn. This way we don't ever have to worry about killing the last zombie. Once the defend ends, I pick up the brain and take it over and place it in the Mars teleporter room. Interacting with the machine once more turns the screen on and flashes a few names. Using those names, I check in the archive to see how many times we have to turn each one of the heads. Once we flip the round to round 1 again, I turn the heads and Pizza climbs up and grabs Neptune. Proceed to shoot Neptune, Mars, and Saturn till they are all at the correct directions based off the notes we had looked at earlier. Once they were, I interact with the machine once again. This spawns another Oscar, as well as a ton of extra zombies, and we just run out the timer while making sure none of Oscar's UFOs manage to make it to the middle. This definitely gets hectic, and it doesn't help that Oscar basically makes the zombies rampage, and neither Pizza nor Chubbs have any perks. I eventually remembered I had Idolize and activate it just to easily finish off this step. Once it finishes, it teleports us to Mars. Pick up the brain again because, well, it's Wednesday, great day for carrying brains around. Place it, then once they activate the birds, I shoot the Tesla towers outside the map and then the one up above the portal. This brings the bird over and we easily grab it out of the air. Place it down and then use the wonder weapon to shoot each of the 5 pillars in the area. After activating all 5, I teleport and run back over to the organ near Pack. Interacting with it causes it to show me the symbol order that correlate to the pillars I activated a moment ago. Using those symbols, I interact with each of the pillar in the correct order. Right as we started to head into the boss, while switching gum packs, I had this happen. Great game, Treyarch. Bug free. 10 of 10. Would definitely recommend. Thankfully, the dev error didn't do anything except boot me from the game randomly. Only downside after rejoining was that I had lost all points, perks, and guns. Eventually, I repacked my SG-12 and also play it safe by picking up pistols from the spawn and packing them. Finally, time for boss fight. Let me go ahead and warn you guys. This particular run's boss fight has to be one of the most sketchiest boss fights I've had ever since doing the Voyage of Despair on Realistic and losing my shield on the second phase of the boss and still managing to get through it. I won't be showing the full boss fight in this video itself, but I will be linking it below for those wanting to see the full fight. I warn you though, it's, well, just trust me, it's worth watching. None of us have enough points to buy ammo more than once or twice at best, since we had to rush in to start the boss due to being worried about the round timer by that point. So here I am literally meleeing zombies since I know that the boss is a bullet sponge, and for whatever reason, the devs thought that having a multiple phase boss fight without a single max ammo spawn was a good idea. Between that and the fact that they heavily nerfed ammo and armor drops on all the boss fights, it had me knowing right away we may have just went through all this just to get destroyed. And I can only imagine how Chubbs was feeling, because this was no joke, his first time ever being on the map. And we had just discovered that the game had bugged and wouldn't allow us to pause, so we were explaining the fight to him on the fly. He had only bought BO7 like the day before. The first phase of the boss just required we avoid beams and killed zombies. Once we kill enough, we could interact with the machine to take a third of the boss's health. Repeat the same thing over again, except we also have to be careful of the fire that comes down and stays on the ground for a bit. But we get it charged once again and take off another third of the boss's health. This time he spawns poison on the lower section right away, plus of course there's everything from the phase before as well. A bit more work, yet we finished it off without any downs or anything. Good run, right? No, of course not, because all of that was just the first phase. We hadn't even taken out a quarter of the boss's health before I was buying ammo. Went ahead and warned them both that this run was likely a rip at this point. There was just no way we could pull it off. I mean, we didn't even have everyone's gun pack level 3, and the SG shotgun was definitely not as great at nuking the boss as the last time I had done this fight. At least not for breaking his armor, although once his armor was broken, it definitely done decent damage to him. It didn't help though that I was out of ammo and couldn't afford any. So here I am attempting to farm points for shotgun ammo at this point. Was even meleeing zombies to get ammo by using the melee macchiato augment. I mean, the struggle was real. We did get through the phase though. And the good news is that there's 2 more phases now where he's a lot tankier and a lot harder. No pressure. After taking out a portion of the boss's health again, we just randomly had someone join into our game out of the blue. He left right away, but it triggered an idea for me, so I asked in stream chat, and a friend of mine, Mecha, doesn't hesitate to agree to the idea. The plan is to have him join in just to pop max ammo, since that was the real struggle. In the meantime, we managed to finish off the phase to where we only had one left. Soon as he spawned in, he popped insta-kill and a max ammo before leaving. Even with that, at this point, there wasn't much hope though. We didn't have anything to help the others to get up, not even a field upgrade. And of course, I'm constantly out of shotgun ammo. But Mecha was way ahead of us, and after backing out, right away he's joining back in and popping max ammo again. Now the last phase drug on for a minute, and while editing this video, I honestly found myself clipping so much of the boss fight because of the close calls and clutch moments that I was basically clipping the whole fight. Rather than have all of that, as I mentioned, I have the link for the full boss fight in the description and just have the ending shown here. It does feel really cheap to summarize it though, especially as chaotic as it was. Even had Pizza and Chubbs trying to back out and load back in simply to distract the boss, just to give me a breather for a second. By the end, I literally was shouting, and it took about 10 minutes before my hands finally stopped shaking. But we did get it. The world first Round 1 Astra Malorum Easter Egg, and the first ever BO7 Round 1 Easter Egg in Standard Mode. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough for clicking and watching through this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. It's a big help if you guys like the video, and I still have more I'll be uploading, so if that interests you, make sure to go ahead and sub. I'll have the next video up soon, but until then, I'll catch you all later.
Will be my gift to you. Accept it with dignity. Such free, fragile things you are.
I am what they call a replacer.
I will scatter you like pollen on stellar winds. I will crush you under the weight of galaxies. I was worshipped when this planet's ocean still boiled. I will scatter you like pollen on stellar winds. You are nothing but overgrown bacteria. Now you shall join the